welcome to Detroit in Black and White, our Friday edition. Just me and Vanessa Moss.
Just, just.
That's right.
When you
You,
use
you
just,
should
you
be
know that you're minimizing.
you should
You
be
know that
out
you.
there with your picket sign.
Oh, I was out there today. We're gonna
No,
talk
you
about
wasn't. You
that.
wasn't. You was politicking.
No, I was not. I was out
Yes,
there.
you was.
No, I
Hi,
was still.
Vanessa Moss. Uh,
Listen,
your
y'all don't
next
listen to him.
probate
I know
court
he.
judge.
He
I'm
a
Vanessa
Luciferian.
Moss. Your
Whatever man.
probate. Your
Whatever man.
yeah.
Listen.
You and your
Welcome.
boy was out there.
Welcome to Detroit in Black and White, our
You and
Friday
your boy.
evenings edition.
You and your
Welcome,
boy.
welcome, welcome. This evening we have he calls me the stuff starter, but he really is the stuff starter, right? He likes to start fires. He likes to uh, he's like the I don't want to liken you that, but he's always starting mess. Always Mr. Controversial.
No.
Mr. the founder, the creator of Detroit in Black and White, which started off on the radio, and now we are on these YouTube streets, Mr. Adolph Mongo. Hey Adolph, what's up?
You forget something.
So, and of course, it's me, Vanessa Moss, your next Wayne County probate judge that is here in Detroit Black and White. First of all, what we want to do is we want to give a shout out to our producer, Lady T. She makes sure that we get on these YouTube streets on time. Good evening, Lady T. We also want to get a shout out to Janet Saluk, Janet Overall, Jill Sheridan, what's up? Kenneth Reed, Mr. 1213, Tamari Kimmett, Stephanie Jackson, Wayla Boyce. Good evening, good evening. Listen, if you are watching the greatest show on these YouTube streets, you already know what we want you to do. Like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Now, if you want to join in on this hot, spicy conversation tonight, you know what you can do. You can make a comment in the comment section, or you could use your phone. You can use your phone, go to your camera, put your phone up to this code up here in the top left hand corner of your screen, and you could come on into the room. You can be a guest. You can be a guest, co-host, whatever you want to call it, family on Detroit Black and White. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jim and Allan are off tonight. They'll be here tomorrow morning.
They
But
bet
go
they
ahead,
bet on,
Allan.
they bet they off anyway. You know.
I'm gonna tell them that you have that you were insulting them.
Yeah, well, and
What's going on?
anyway, before we start getting into some crazy shit, I'm tired of all this. That you go to the mailbox and all you get is this junk mail of vote for me. I mean, oversized shit. What happened to the small uh, campaign cards and stuff? I mean, they done killed so many trees that we gonna man, they're gonna have to ban that shit. It's just too much. You see one mailing. I didn't think people had money. But some of these people got enough money to mail every fucking week. And you
So
get
what we're
4 and 5 different pieces every damn week.
so listen. Are you listening?
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. One, are you an environmentalist? Two,
No,
do you you're not. So why are you talking about the trees if you're not an environmentalist? Two,
I don't have to be environmentalist to talk about the tree. It's just a way. If you're going to kill a tree, kill it for a real cause and not the bullshit. That's how many times uh,
listen,
you
Adolf,
can you can tell somebody to keep voting for you with a piece of paper.
listen. Some people have to be reminded. Some people are not reading the
People
newspaper.
gonna
Some
vote and not gonna
people
vote.
people
And
are not.
then you
Listen,
out there
listen,
at the
we know.
polls and
Listen,
still
you see how
passing
you
out the
gonna make me
same
start
bullshit.
now? You
The
see how he come
same
back beside
bullshit.
himself? Listen,
Who cares about that
everybody,
shit?
everybody is not watching the news. Everybody's not reading the newspaper.
Where
This is a way that
everybody
they
is,
can reach.
where you
Listen,
talking about
this
the
is a way that
dummies.
they can reach
You
people.
talking about
Okay,
the dummies.
so if they want to mail and do the mailers, fine. I personally, I know when I go to my mailbox is full of flyers, literature, whatever you want to call political literature. I have already made up my mind about who I'm going to vote for. So for me, it doesn't make a difference. But for some people, it does make a difference. It tells them who these people are, what
No,
they
I
stand
don't,
for,
because
that
most
kind of
of them
thing.
are bullshit. Most of them are
You're
liars
getting
and
old and
shit.
cynical.
And listen, no, I'm sitting here watching TV and the same commercials. That idiot that's the fucking congressman out of the 13th. He's a damn idiot. He impeached President Trump like he was a one man army. Street ain't done shit. But give us all that kind of mail bullshit,
Well,
and
see,
and
you are
and
a
they
person that
polluting it,
already
and
made
they
up your
polluting
mind
the
that you're not
airways
going to vote for
with
him.
propaganda. They polluting the airways with the same bullshit. And then the media, the TV stations. This is how they play it. They play on one hand. You got Abdul dogging out Stevens, and then they come back with a Stevens dogging out Abdul, back with Abdul, back with a Stevens. Man, it just that unbelievable.
So
I
now you're
turn the
talking about
channel.
the airwaves as opposed to the paper that's in the
Nah,
mailers.
both
What are you
of them.
talking about
All
now?
of it's garbage. All
Uh-huh.
of it's garbage.
Uh-huh. You're saying that because you're not I don't think that you're going to support some of these candidates that you're
Oh,
talking
yeah, even the candidates I would support, I'm saying that they got too much bullshit to come out. They waste fucking money.
about.
Plus, yeah, I don't want to see an idiot, idiot. We got a fucking idiot that somebody trying to get him out of office, and then we got another fucking idiot decide to run a write-in and gonna get some votes.
Well, listen. I
No,
don't know who you talking about, but you know, and we're family, and T is family, Jim is family. You know, I did a write-in 2 years ago, and I knew that it was an uphill battle. But you cannot discount or what word what adjective do I want to use? The adjective is listen. If who I think you're talking about, if they want to run as a write-in, let them
well,
run
we
as a
just
write-in.
elected. We
Let
just
me ask you
elected.
this: Did
The
you get
person
any
I'm
mail from
talking
that
about.
person?
Person
Did
I'm
you get
talking
any
about
mail
is
from that
the
person?
person I'm talking about is Mary Waters. She just got elected to the damn fucking city council again, and then didn't do it right and get her signatures right, so they kicked her off the ballot of the 13th, and now running as a write-in. That's suspicious. That is suspicious. You
Oh,
know,
you're a
get some
conspiracy
votes, get
theorist.
enough votes for I came here with $2. I came with $2.
It's
I'm sick of hearing him and his bullshit. But people have a right to they pay for it. They have a right to put the shit out. I have a right to say all of it is a crock of shit.
So what do you do with it when you get the stuff in the mail? When you get
Throw it
the
in the garbage.
you
Trash it,
throw it in the garbage. Okay.
trash it.
You don't recycle it since you're so concerned about the
Oh, I
environment.
don't recycle it. I didn't say I was into the
You
recycling.
said you said killing trees. That's what you
So what?
said.
That don't mean shit. I don't have to be. I'm against. I'm against pollution. That don't mean I'm an environmentalist. You know.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
but I just asked you a question. What do you do? Do you put the paper in the recycle bin? That's all.
No,
Um,
I take it and it's gone. And
so
yeah,
my
I know where
question
it go.
is,
Go to a garbage dump. I worked on a garbage truck. I know what goes
when
in
is
there.
that? When did you work on a garbage truck and why?
Cause I worked on a garbage truck. Cause
When was this?
I had a job.
When
You
was
know?
this?
Out of Oakland County.
Oh, you was a
Wait a
sanitation
minute.
worker.
I picked up the trash and shit, and somebody called my mother talking about. I thought your son was in college. He's a garbage man.
Somebody has to do it. There's nothing wrong with sanitation
Ain't
work.
nothing wrong with it. Unless
Somebody
when
has
I
to
was in
do
the
it.
seventh grade, I had a fucking science teacher tell me that I wasn't going to be nothing but a garbage man when I grow up. I said, well, garbage men in New York make more money than teachers. She sent me to the principal office, you know, and the principal asked me, why did I told him what I said. He said, I read that article. He said, go back to class, because it was true,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, sorry ass woman. She thought she was slick, but
Mm-mm-mm. Well, um,
why don't
so
you read? Why don't you read some comments?
I'm gonna read some comments and I'm gonna tell you about what I did today. So let me go back up. I'm gonna go all the way back up. Dang, you hear that? Somebody's. Oh my God, you hear that?
What's
You hear
that?
that? There's
Okay.
some dogs fighting in the hallway. We
Oh,
talked about
good.
dogs the last
Where you
show.
live at? What east
Oh,
side,
so you
right?
already listen.
Was that
Did you?
pit bulls?
Oh, so you did watch the show when we talked about pit bulls?
No, no.
No, no, they're small dogs. You could tell by the way that they're
Okay.
barking, but they're fighting one another. You could tell that they're arguing with one another. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Anyway, uh, Tamara Kimmons said, "Hey, Lady TG Money Hollywood says greeting. What up, Doe Adolph and V? Talk back to you. Talk back to me. I'm chilling watching the school ball. The picture from the Tigers pitch a great game tonight. That's what's up. All right." Kenneth Free said, "Adolph, why did I see Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, Bernie, Benny Thompson, and Jim Clyburn at Wayne County Community College yesterday endorsing Sri Thanadar on the low? Oh wow."
Well,
Uh,
because uh because they word if Donovan McKinney gets elected, he's a tool of Rashida Tlaib and Bernie Sanders. He's a progressive. He calls himself a socialist Democrat. So they going with what they know. As Coleman Young says. I asked Coleman Young one time, why you support Lonnie Bates, an embattled school board member? He said because he the rascal that we know. So Shree is the rascal that they know, and they are real concerned. Detroit News, of all papers, in a regular election year, wouldn't endorse Shree, but they did because of Rashida and Bernie Sanders backing um, Donovan McKinney. So
Bernie.
that's why they was out there. They not going against the incumbent, especially one that says he's going to join the new movement in the Democratic Party, the progressive.
Well, I think it's interesting. I'm going to get back to some of the comments. I think it's interesting. I read an article the other day where Congressman Clyburn said that he was very concerned. There was a rally that took place in the Metro Detroit area, and our candidate Abdul Syed had a rally, and he said he was really concerned with the basically he was really concerned with what he saw in terms of the people that was
What he didn't see,
oh,
he didn't see
well,
any
two
black
things
faces.
can be true at the same time, what he didn't see or what he saw. The bottom line
Yeah.
is the people that support him, he was very concerned, especially when you're talking about the city of Detroit. I thought that was quite interesting. FBA Convo says Detroit stand up. Shout out from Hazel Park. Jenna overall, she says her recycle bin eats good. She's talking about the literature that you get in the mail. She's Tamara Kimmett. She agrees with you, Adolph. Kenneth Reed says, Adolph, they're contributing to global warming and Canadian smoke. Wow. Hazel Park take Taekwondo said, good evening. Hey, Dorian Denard says, two words, Adolph. Citizens United. Dark money pay for this. SHIT is what
Good
he
shit.
says. He
Okay.
says, Tamarick says, it's way too much. G Money Hollywood says, Adolph, the money, he says the American dollar is not worth anything in the global marketplace. That is why they're able to spend money on large pieces of literature. No one cares. With an exclamation point. The most recognized candidate will win. Edward All, good evening. He said, good evening, Detroit. Tamiri says, amen. We also have Miss Sheila. She said, it talks about who endorses them and they crooks just funny. And she has this laughing emoji. Good evening, Felicia D. Felicia Dean. Kenneth Reese says, getting on the damn way. Be nice says a crook. I don't know who's a crook. Kenneth said he throws it in the shredder. Um, G Money says society at large does not give a care about state politics, which is more important than being on the national stage. All it takes for 30 people to show up to the poll and win by 3 votes. No one cares. Wow. Uh,
All
they
right,
don't.
that's a good statement.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I believe that. Yeah.
Okay. Someone wants to talk about Nolan Wells. Adolph and I have already talked about that. We're going to talk about that tonight on the show. I'm going to ask him those questions. Shree must have out a poll in the field that demonstrates the race is close. I think he did
Yes.
this poll. Yeah, Tammy Mooney says there's something about McKinney I don't trust, just a gut feeling, but it doesn't matter because I don't live in his district. Tammy Mooney says I hate all the literature in the mail. Save the trees. Karen Winston says good evening, good people, and I think I got everybody. So
Okay.
I think it is 8:48. I think we need to shoot to. We need to take a break, and then we'll come back. Detroit in Black and White, our Friday's evening edition. We got a whole lot that we need to talk about.
Midterm elections influence our schools, public safety, housing, and other services families rely on every day, and that includes gas prices. While presidential elections get more attention, many decisions that affect daily life are made by leaders elected in midterms. Your vote is your voice. Voting helps ensure community concerns are heard. It holds leaders accountable and supports positive change. Make a plan to vote and encourage family, friends, and neighbors to do the same. Our community is strongest when every voice is heard. For more information on how and when to vote, call 313-876-0190 or go to detroitmi.gov/elections. When we vote, we don't just choose leaders, we choose the future of our community. Vote.
Hi, I'm Eric Sabri, your Wayne County Treasurer. If you're living in the home of a deceased family member and you're facing property tax foreclosure, the probate process can be helpful to you. If you file a probate petition and notify our office, the foreclosure proceedings will be halted during the probate process. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
Well, welcome back to Detroit in Black and White. I'm Adolph Mongo, Vanessa Moss. The Nolan Wells case, I've been following it, not as closely as I should be, but a couple things that I observed and the way people treat these kind of cases. In Texas, with Carmelo Anthony, the young man that got into it with another athlete,
Excuse me.
accused of murder, found guilty, 35 years. That means they move fast. Let's go move from Texas to Mississippi. And Mississippi has a long history of moving slow when it comes to the killing and the murder and the lynching of black people, and some people are calling this a lynching. There's no question about it, because soon as uh, his friends who he hung out with was going to get interviewed by the police, which is a standard procedure in an accidental death or whatever, they went and got attorneys. So somebody's hiding. Uh, will we ever get to the bottom of it? Yeah, I hope so. I heard his mother give an interview, and she talked about how people are attacking them because of the GoFundMe. They got a lot of money to pay for attorneys, etc., and people saying they shouldn't have a GoFundMe. Hell, just last year or a few months ago, a woman called a little black kid all kind of racial names, and she got all these threats. But she did a GoFundMe and got almost $1 million, and you know, for starting some shit. You know, if you want to give somebody some money, don't worry about where the money. I'm not gonna be sitting going into GoFundMe accounts to see what they're gonna do with the money.
So you
And,
do understand that the people who are complaining about the money are those very people who did not donate. So
right.
they feel like they can have something to say about it. But I agree with you. How they spend it is how they spend it. I didn't, if you did not give a donation, what do you, I mean, all of us have opinions, but really doesn't matter. Does it really make a difference? In my
Well,
opinion,
I'm gonna tell you, Mississippi, man, you need to go. You ever in Jackson, Mississippi? You got to go to a museum there. They got two museums: the African American Museum and the State of Mississippi History Museum, right across from each other. And what's funny, a white employee that works at the African American Museum, she said when it first opened up, a lot of white folks didn't want to go into the black museum because they showed lynching and all the history they didn't want to see or talk about. But she said they went right across to the Mississippi State Museum, and she said they must have got sick because it was just a continuation of what was
uh,
in the Black Museum. It continued in the State Museum. Mississippi got a long history of lynching. We go to Emmett Till, the three civil rights workers. One of them, Andrew Goodman's mother, wanted to, in 1963, 64, wanted to bury her son. She proposed that all three of them be buried in Mississippi. And man, they were threatening to arrest her and dispose of the body themselves. So you can't bury black and white together in the same cemetery. I didn't know that the dead didn't want to be next to a certain person. You dead, you dead. Uh, go to Montgomery, Alabama, and go to the lynching project. And you see the names and faces of people that was lynched, burned, run over, mutilated. They sold parts of their body, ears, teeth, fingers, postcards, and you see the names of people in years. It's not just 1 year, not just 2 years. Man, it was damn near 100 years. And so when people say it was an accident, well, prove it that it was an accident. Don't try to hide. whatever you don't want to talk, you hiding something.
Yeah, well, I think I made myself clear on Wednesday. You weren't here Wednesday. I feel a way because, listen, you can't tell me I leave somewhere with four friends, even as an adult. If I go out and I'm hanging out and I'm with two, three, four, one person and nobody hears from me, and people are saying, well, she was with you last, and you lawyer up and you don't know what happened. That's a whole problem. So I have an issue with it. I don't know what these young men did or did not do, what I in terms of whether or not they're responsible for Nolan Wells' death. But what I do know is that what you did not do is that you did not go and report him missing. You did not talk to the police. And I understand that, listen, when the police start asking questions, I'm not mad at the parents for lawyering up. But as a parent on the other side, I would have an issue with. I thought you was a friend. I thought we were friends. I thought my son was friends with you. What's up with that? So, I as
So
I said,
the guy just jumped in a water and committed suicide. No, my mother had a cousin when she was little. She was at 9 or 10, and he had to be about 18, 19. Uh, and he went out on a boat trip on Belle Isle with another cousin and some friends, and they never knew what happened.
mm-hmm,
They said he just jumped in the water and drowned. Of course, half the family didn't believe that, and half the family did. But nobody was talking, and the people that was out on the boat, they all had different stories. So you never know what the deal is. Did somebody get in an altercation and it was an accident? Did he get so drunk or high or whatever young folks do? Right. But we do, yeah, we got, I just saw that. We got a case here in Michigan where the person don't know what happened, you know. And that you wake up and you in a coma, semi-coma, uh, beat down, and you can nobody tell you what happened. And now can nobody? Well, Nolan Wells can't talk, so we might never know uh, what happened. Only those people that saw him last. You know,
absolutely.
that's like the Murdoch case. We know in South Carolina they played fast and loose with the information that they told the police. A young girl got killed on a boat with the attorney's son. Said it was an accident. Come to find out, when it's all said and done, that he was drunk and high out of his fucking mind and shit. So you can spin it and do what you want to do with it, but they got people that they call them the usual suspects. But hey, somebody got to do it. I ain't mad at Ben Crump. If he has to be the town crier, so be it.
Right.
'Cause if he don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it. It just boom. It look at Natalie Holloway. Her parents still looking for her,
Yeah.
and it's been what 20 years, and they know it. They know who did it. And, he won't say. It was a cover up. His father was a judge. They picked up the usual suspects in the beginning, the two black employees of the hotel. Gonna find out they had nothing to do with it.
So
So
yeah, you have Stephanie Jackson. She says they need lawyers because of guilt. White folks in Mississippi are not worried about being prosecuted. I'm sure there's not one white person convicted of killing a black person unless it was caught on video. That is Stephanie's opinion. So Kenneth Reed says, so let this young man remain on that island without the phone and car keys. That's some real BS. That's what Kenneth Reed says. And then there was somebody else who said that there was some red marks on the back of his neck, and they think that maybe he was hung. Who knows what happened? The only people who knows what happened is he know what happened to him before he passed away, and of course he can't talk. But those four people that was with him knows know something. Okay, I'm not saying that they are guilty of killing him, but the fact that they know something is a problem. So
Well, you unhung out as a young person. I unhung out, and you get into. I think of the shit that I got into with folks, and you don't. Lucky, knock on wood, that nobody died.
yeah,
Nobody died, but somebody died in this case, and we gonna continue to see how it's gonna end. If it's gonna
right.
end. Okay, we
Stephanie
got
Jackson
Dory.
says, yeah, Dorian, we'll get to it. She says that Mississippi is full of racism. She says she was born and raised in Mississippi. So she feel a way about Mississippi and the way that they handle these type of matters. Dorian D, what's up? Thank you for coming on into the room at Detroit Black and White, our Friday evening's edition. What do you have to say? We need you to weigh in, and we got a couple of other subjects that we want to talk about. What you have to say?
Well, you know what? We live in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what we saw, what we and what we see going on uh, is just them retribution from having a black president, a so-called black president, and they are living in a moment of, I don't know why I have echo.
Yeah, I don't either. You wanna leave out and come back in?
Yeah, why
We'll try
don't you do
that.
that? Okay,
Yeah,
why don't you
leave
do
out,
that,
come back
Dory?
in. So
Yeah.
when he comes back, he can come on into the room and talk about whatever it is that he's talking about. But listen, I want to quickly talk about what's going on.
You echoing now.
I don't understand that. Is it still doing it? Leave and come back.
I guess.
You echoing.
Okay, I'm here by myself. We echoing. Okay, Crump better stay in Jackson where there's some witnesses. That's Stephanie Jackson. Yeah. Uh, Now you back, Teresa?
I'm back.
Okay, you don't
Okay.
echo. His
Okay.
friends kept Nolan's phone, wiped it clean, and kept his car keys. Pretended not to have it. They should be arrested for tampering with evidence. Uh, yeah, something just not right on this shit. Did they fight whoever? Was it a fight over a girl? Were they fighting over a girl? Was it an accident? Was it? Was they hazing him for some initiation? Who knows?
Who knows?
But we know at the end they wasn't his friends because if that was my friend, I just have to tell. Uh, I got to tell what went down. You know,
So you saying your conscience would allow you to go to sleep? Your conscience would say
if
you
that's
fought.
my friend,
Yeah,
if that was my
absolutely,
friend,
absolutely,
no, uh.
absolutely. Well, Dorian, I guess he's going to come back on. I just want to talk about what happened in my world today. As everybody know, as a co-host of Detroit Black and White, everybody knows that I'm a lawyer. Everybody knows that I've been practicing for about 25 years. Last year, I took a position with the Neighborhood Defender Services, which is an organization which is public defenders, and we represent people who are indigent in Wayne County. Well, today I'm a member of the union. First time in my life ever being a member of a union, even though my grandparents were my grandfather worked at Ford, my grandmother worked at General Motors. Both of them were union members. So today I was out on the picket line. Why? Neighborhood Defender Services, which serves as the key vendor for indigent services for the county of Wayne, did not reach a deal. We've been negotiating for uh, over health care, for them to provide us with fair health care as well as wages. So there's offices in New York, there's offices in Houston, there's offices in Detroit. And so we had a whole lot of media that was out today, and I was out there picketing. Uh, I feel like if you can't stand up for yourself, you definitely can't stand up for others. But it was shocking to see that there were some people who will benefit because even though they may not be members of the union, the fact of the matter is they're still paying union dues. And if we get what we're asking for, that they're going to ultimately benefit. It's interesting because when you're working for, and this is my opinion, it belongs to me, when you're working for a nonprofit organization, it's one of the perks that you may not get the high pay, but healthcare is huge. And I feel like they're trying to kill us. How can we go from not paying for healthcare to them wanting us to pay healthcare, not opening the books to tell us what they have, and no real reason as to why we need to pay. That is totally and utterly ridiculous. It is unfair, but it's also unfair not just to us, it's unfair to the people that we represent. We are vendors. We have 50% of the 50, we represent 50% of the people in Wayne County that is indigent. So while we're out there on the picket line, you have people who are waiting for their cases to be heard, and we're not going in. Now,
That was my question. So uh, either they find some money to pay for a private attorney, or they're gonna have to sit in jail, and wait till they solve this issue.
yeah,
You think you're gonna be out long?
hopefully, I have no idea. Hopefully that we will get a resolve. Now, I heard today that, and I find this interesting, that a particular judge, you know him, I'll tell you the name after. This particular judge held one of my colleagues in contempt of court because he didn't come to court today. Now, mind you, management showed up in court today in place of him. And I don't know what management said on the record, but the fact of the matter is, listen, NDS has the contract, not the individual. With the fact that you hold the individuals in contempt of court for standing up for things that they think is important, I think is utterly and totally ridiculous. I think it is also ridiculous that you expect for people to work and not have a living wage. That is crazy. So we were out all day today, and we'll be back on that picket line tomorrow. Now, of course, you had, as far as I'm concerned, and people know that I'm running for office, but I didn't use that opportunity to say, "Hey, I'm running for office." You had people who running for office who came, and they used this as an opportunity to speak to people who are voters in the state of Michigan, in Wayne County, Oakland County, whatever. You had quite a few politicians that came out and showing that they support us.
That's
Let
a
me say
crock of
this one
shit.
thing, Adolph, before we go. What warmed my heart today is this, and I hope my colleagues are watching. I got several text messages from people that in the private bar who said, "Hey, I support you. I support you so much that I'm not even taking assignments to represent indigents in solidarity with you guys. Now, if that's not cool, I don't know what is, but
Well,
I really respect that.
I think that's great, but I just wanted to go back to the politicians that come out. Uh, it's funny, and I've been around politicians a long fucking time. It, for them to come out is like somebody uh, going to the ICU to see a person that when they was doing okay never said a word, but now they laying on they sick and trying to get well. I support you. You know,
But you know what, Adolph,
some
you
of
can
these
look at it.
assholes they
You
don't
can
support
look at it
workers.
that way, but you could also look at it a way of their notoriety actually highlights what's going on. So you could look at it your way, but you could look at it the other way. I think it's awesome that they come out and say, "Hey, we support you guys and we support your fight." Now, whether
You think
they
the mayor coming out to support you
did the who
the mayor would that help your cause?
did the mayor come
I
out?
say would the mayor coming out to support you?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay,
Maybe not.
okay,
Maybe not. Maybe
okay.
they will. Maybe it will. I don't know.
Now with that, with it just the attorneys striking, what about the people, the support staff? Are they part of that aspect too?
Absolutely. The support staff, the social workers, the investigators, the people who answer the phone, the support staff. Yes, all of them that belong to the union, they're all out. There were a few people who did not join the union. What's interesting is this, that I think it was like over 90, it was like 90% of the people that work for NDS voted to support the strike. And so, you know, you have a few people who did not support, and then you have people in management who supported, but because of their position, they can't get out and get on the picket line. But you know, it's going to cost, like today was our first day. How long are they going to be able to go through and not if we're serving 50, we serve 50% of the population, indigent population. How long is the court going to be able to survive? So what's going to happen is the judge is going to be pissed off, right? You're going to have the family members of people that are facing charges. They're going to be impatient. And I will say, we were responsible enough. I know I was up late last night calling folks. Folks was calling me, and I'm telling them, listen, I won't be in court, but someone for NDS may be able to will be standing in your standing in my place, and they're not going to be able to handle that because we have a huge caseload. So this is also interesting. It was very interesting for me, like I said, because I had never ever been a member of the union, but I was very, very happy to be out on that picket line. I got there a little after 9, and I stayed till almost 3 o'clock
They
today.
giving
I'll
you
be back out on Friday. Huh?
they giving you strike pay?
Yes, they're going to give us strike pay. Yes,
Can I borrow $50?
absolutely. Absolutely. Stephanie Jackson said 97% voted to strike across 3 offices. And like I said, it's New York, Houston, and Detroit.
Okay.
So that that
Okay.
that that is huge. Yep.
Okay.
So
Let's take our last break,
okay.
and we come back and you read off some of the comments.
Okay.
Midterm elections influence our schools, public safety, housing, and other services families rely on every day, and that includes gas prices. While presidential elections get more attention, many decisions that affect daily life are made by leaders elected in the midterms. Your vote is your voice. Voting helps ensure community concerns are heard. It holds leaders accountable and supports positive change. Make a plan to vote and encourage family, friends, and neighbors to do the same. Our community is strongest when every voice is heard. For more information on how and when to vote, call 313-876-0190 or go to detroitmi.gov/elections. When we vote, we don't just choose leaders, we choose the future of our community. vote.
Hi, I'm Eric Sabri, your Wayne County Treasurer. Are you living in the home of a deceased family member and you're facing property tax foreclosure? Or maybe you know someone who's in the same situation. The probate process may be helpful to you. If you file a probate petition and notify our office, the foreclosure proceedings will be halted during the probate process. We have several nonprofit partners who have free attorneys who can assist you. Contact our office, 313-224-5990, or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. Don't lose your family property. Some of these properties have been in the family for 4 or 5 generations. Contact us now. We're here to help.
Okay, we back. Why don't you read some of the comments?
Okay, Kenneth Reed says, Vanessa, I really pray that this impasse is resolved. Jill Sheridan, hey Jill, she says costs went up and they want you to bite the bullet because they don't want to. Exactly. Stephanie says 1% COLA. Miss Sheila says, but I bet the executives have their health insurance while sitting on their tails and their secretaries do everything. Kenneth Reed says, I really feel bad for the indigent clients who it sounds like they are caught in the middle. I'm going to make a comment about that. I really wrestled with this. Yesterday, I was really upset that this is something that we had to do because I had some cases coming up. And actually, last night, I didn't get home till after 9 o'clock because I wanted to let my client know, listen, I won't be in, there's a possibility that I won't be in court with you next week, but I want to talk
But
to you about
the question,
yes.
if I don't support the strike, and I'm a public defender,
Hmm.
can I go to court with my client?
You can. There's a few people who showed up in court.
Okay, that's what. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's the thing. If we get what we're asking for, that person benefits. But I
But
mean,
but people do that. It's like Condoleezza Rice. And she grew up right down the street from the 4 girls that died in Birmingham in '63 at the bombing of the church.
mhm,
Her parents, they made sure her and her siblings they did not participate in anything. Those are people that do do uh, uh, do get all the gravy, and they don't be in the kitchen cooking. Herman Cain, he said this. Remember, old Herman Cain? He said that his father was a chauffeur for the CEO of Coca-Cola in Atlanta, and they paid for him to go to Fisk. I think it was Fisk, one of the black schools,
mhm.
uh, and he was told, do not participate in the sit-ins, or your money get caught, boop, throw away. So you always gonna have people who said, I'm against the union. I don't want you to take no money out of my paycheck for union dues. But yet these assholes get in some shit. They run right to the union. All of a sudden they need somebody to represent them. So
Yeah,
you're always gonna have that. You're gonna shake the tree, the apple's gonna fall, and those assholes is gonna pick up the apples quicker than anybody. And that's just the way life is.
yeah. So I'm hopeful that this won't last a long time. That's a lot of folks, and I can't even count how many. Excuse me, I
People
can't
got
even count.
bills to pay. People got bills to
People
pay.
got bills to pay. So
Mortgages,
this is the thing.
rent.
For people who are working as public defenders, it's public service. It's a calling. People aren't doing it because they're making a whole lot of money. They're doing it because they care. And so it bothers everybody that is out there on their picket line. It bothers them that their clients have to, wait. But let me tell you what I saw today. I saw a client go up to one of my colleagues, gave him dap, and said, I understand, and said, man, I'm going to go in here. They probably give me a German. I hope it works out for you. So that's the wonderful thing about it, because even though people have their cases and they want their cases to resolve, for the most part, the people that I talked to yesterday, my clients that I called and was up until after midnight talking to people, they understood. Because guess what? If you can't stand up for yourself, how can you stand up for anybody else?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep uh, following this and see how it goes. Uh,
Yep. Yep.
well, how many days to the primary?
August, what is it? August the 4th. So we have like 2 weeks. We have an interesting race for judgeship out going on in Farmington Hills.
Who's running?
It's very interesting. We have you have the former, well, no, he still is. He's the magistrate out there. Has been out there for years. I forgot his name. You have two gentlemen. You have Monica Sanford, who's been on our show, was on our show a couple of years ago, and you have a Wayne County prosecutor, Shelley Drain, that's running out in that race for one seat. That's
How many?
very.
3 people? 4 people?
Judge Drain, the federal judge, his daughter, Shelley
Oh,
Drain, is in that race with
oh.
Monica Sanford and these other two gentlemen. It's going to be very interesting. Janet said it's 11 days. I'll be glad when it's over. I know early voting starts tomorrow. My plan is to go vote tomorrow and get it over with. I
Oh,
know
well,
you've
I
already
voted.
voted. You've already voted, but I like to go in and actually, I will say this. Well, you know this. Ever since I've been licensed as an attorney, I've always volunteered in the voter protection program. So I did my training the other day. After I got done with work, I went online and did my training. So I don't I'll be getting my credentials. So the day of the election, I'll be volunteering some time to work at the polls. I will be doing the same thing in November when my name is on the ballot. I will be volunteering then as well because I believe in that, and I will continue to serve our people. And
I
when
hope.
our people, I mean people who vote, people that are United States citizens, people who live here, people who want to vote. I will continue to do that until I close my eyes. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I just hope we get more than 15%. 'Cause, this is crazy. Uh, People deciding millages
Yes.
15%.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What do you think? There's two people who said that they are not seeking reelection for a Detroit school board. And
Because they finally decided that that's the being on the Detroit school board is the worst thing that could happen to you in life. Because if
why do
you
you
keep
say that?
because if you stay on a sinking ship, the this ship is sinking, and it's sinking fast.
Hmm. Are you frozen? He frozen. He said
And
the six. Yeah,
a
you were
raise,
frozen. Go ahead, Adolph. You were frozen.
yeah, and he sent his kids to another school district, so he knows it's a sinking ship. And if we don't get this ship right, we're not gonna have a school district. I
So,
guess it just if we're gonna go by way of Holland Park, Inkster, Muskegon Heights, Benton Harbor. You can look at what we all have in common. Yeah,
so
they
you,
got all
what
our
about the
students are
millage?
gone.
What is your opinion about the millage? Because there is a millage.
No, I
In,
don't give them shit. No more money.
okay, so you gonna hold the kids hostage?
Well, we ain't holding nobody hostage. As soon as we keep giving these folks the money, they do not use it right. We got swimming pools in schools that haven't been used in years. no fucking libraries. I'm just telling you what these kids lack. And then I watched the news last night, and Novi, public schools of the city of Novi, they building a state-of-the-art sports complex right next to their school and for everybody. And we don't have shit for our schools, or we getting the new Persian, okay? But it's just crazy, you know.
So you're saying, so I want to make sure that I'm right. Your position is you're not supporting the millage because
No,
what?
I'm not supporting it. Stop giving them money. Fuck them. You know, fuck the school board. That's the worst. And I wish
I'm
somebody
sorry,
from the both school
I'm laughing
board.
at what you
I
said.
wish somebody from the school board come on and talk about what the fuck are you doing? You know, I'm an advocate of I think the city, and people say, oh no, the city shouldn't run it. They got their own shit. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's an argument against that. But they got to answer to somebody. They answer to nobody. What we gonna have? And the state only came in that time because there was $1.5 billion on the table, and they took it. It was a snatch and grab, and Duggan was part of that. That's why in 12 years you didn't hear that fucker say nothing about the schools. Zero, nothing. And then when he decided he was running as an independent, he talking about I got a game plan for the schools. Damn, 12 fucking years, and you know you was part of the rape and of the district. Shit, when the state took it, it was in the black, had a surplus, and when they gave it back to the people, it was in the red, 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 red. So no, I'm not surprised that two people are not gonna run for reelection, but you're gonna have the same people that run for everything. They'll be running, even if they don't put themselves on the ballot, and there'll be openings. They'll do write-ins. This is the only city where you can get elected to some of these boards because they just wait and run as a write-in and get 10, 12 votes, and there you are, police commission.
Right.
You if you got a felon, uh, you can be on the police commission, which is crazy than a fuck. That's crazy. They oversee the police department.
Right.
And I don't think an ex-cop should be on the fucking oversight.
Right.
You know, but we do things half backwards. We had the damn charter commission. They use that charter commission like they use the city council. You would thought that they was running the city. Some of these people, the reparations commission, they ate each other up. I guess ain't nobody's left. It was like the WE free for all. You know, one person they got a game plan, the other, but our mayor hasn't said nothing about the reparations and what they're gonna do with reparations. Because if you go look at that little area over in Harmony Park, where they said was gonna be, Paradise Valley shit, man, the people that own most of the property, you know who they are. They just waiting on when they start building on that MDOT project, which now MDOT is saying they're gonna start a fucking park with a plaque. This is the area where we displaced thousands of black families, took their businesses, didn't pay them shit, and we bow our head for 10 seconds. That's all you're gonna get is a fucking plaque. Yeah.
Well,
So we have dropped the ball on all this shit, and the people that sit on these boards, the library board, the people that stole money from there. I don't need conservatory. Shit, 45 million. I still say the guy had help, and you just don't steal 45 million by yourself. Uh, smart or whatever. Wasn't it just somebody just took all
It was the Detroit People Movers
the
guy.
people moving
Yeah, Detroit.
that they are stole? Yeah, we that man. This is snatch time, snatch and grab in the city,
Well,
and
you know what, Adolph, some people will say, hey, you don't pass the millage. What are we doing for our children? So I get what
you send them to you send them to other school districts.
you're
That's
saying.
what
If
you
you
do.
send them to other school district, what you just said was going to happen is going to happen. Then we
Yeah,
won't have a school district.
yeah. Well,
Jill
because
Sheridan said,
you got leadership here that don't do shit. They don't do shit.
well, Jill Sheridan says Adolph invites someone from the school board to come on the show. We actually had someone who got on the school board, spent little money. She came on the show twice, and she had been invited, to come back on a regular basis. And I don't know what happened. You know what happened?
No, you just got ghosts.
Yep. So, a lot of times people can't stand it. They don't want the heat. They want the accolades, but they don't want the heat. In other words, they don't want to answer questions. Here's the deal, folks. If you elect somebody to the school board is the voice of the people. You're supposed to, as a school board member, understand if you sit on that board that superintendent answers to you who represent the people. You don't work for him, he worked for you. He worked for us.
This
And
guy,
it
and
used to
he's
be
been
that
trying
people
to
had
he been
forgotten
trying
about
to get jobs other school districts, and they hiring him. They not fighting. He went out, but I'm making half a million, and I got to get on deck Titanic because as the sink, he's gonna have a helicopter come down and he's gonna get in it and fly away. Shit.
So
Uh,
now, to Mary, I'm going to answer your question. Listen, I reached out to some people the other day, the whole family, and you know what I'm talking about. One of which is on the reparations task force. I got nothing. I got crickets. So I want you to know that, okay? Be nice says I agree. Then they use public financing for LCA that would have otherwise go to the fund to fund the public schools. Someone says invite Dr. Gloria House onto the show. Okay.
okay.
All
Okay.
right. It is
Yeah.
9:33. You ready to shut it down?
Well, read a couple
Okay, so invite
comments and then we'll
Dr.
shut it
Gloria
down.
House. You also have they said Karen Winston said Riverfront Conservancy theft of millions. Karen Winston says it's larger than that. Uh, Tamiri says reparations task force made their recommendations and Sheffield is silent. That's interesting. Kenneth Reed said he'll never forget the initial school takeover where there was a budget surplus and test scores were up and achievement was rising in DPS. You also had Edward Alt. He said, thank you for another great show. Hey, Duela boys. Karen Winston says taxpayers, grandbabies will still have to pay that off. Janice says, this has been a good show. Thank you. We also have Kenneth Reed. He says, Duggan, when the bond issue was approved, and Sharon Madison Polk was the contractor, Duggan, Engler, and the rest came in and stole that bond money. So I guess Kenneth Reed is not going to support the millage either. I don't know. But that's it. I think I got everybody.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, tomorrow we're gonna have the prosecutor of Wayne of
Washington
Washtenaw
County.
County, Eli Savage,
Yeah, he's running for attorney
running
general.
for Attorney General,
Yep.
Democrat, progressive. He's gonna be with us live in at McShane's. So that should be an interesting show. Uh, hope everybody, if you don't have anything to do, tune in or come down to McShane's.
Yep.
I have a couple shots on me.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Early in the
Anyway,
morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. Are
at
you
10
kidding?
o'clock, 11 o'clock,
I
12
got
o'clock,
to
there's
tell you, I
5
was
o'clock
somewhere,
somewhere in the world. So, pretend you're in London.
All
And so
right.
you can get a buzz on in the morning. But anyway, see you tomorrow morning.
See ya.